Good night, everyone. We will continue with our second speaker and with second session titled Leadership and Team Management. Thank you all for joining again. Um, Before introducing our guests, let me remind you that you need to fill up our attendance form. It will be shared with you later in the session, and it will be on the live chat that you have there. We don't want to have a very long introduction. So basically, let me introduce you to our guests. Welcome back, Jenifer. Um, Jenifer Castillo is a sales and account manager of Lufthansa Technic. She is a mechatronic engineer graduated from Sana Buenaventura Universidad en Bogotá, Colombia, MBA at International Enterprise from the Polytechnic Universidad de Puerto Rico, and IEEE senior member, being part of the Institute and a volunteer since 20 years. Currently, she holds the role of IEEE Region 9 Director, and previously she was IEEE Women in Engineering Committee Chair, IEEE Industry Engagement Committee Member, and IEEE Puerto Rico on the Caribbean Section Chair. So, thank you for being with us again, Jenifer. I think that's we can start with our session. Yet, you are muted.
Something has to happen. Thank you, Andres,
Don't
and once
worry.
again, thank you to all the team that has been working on this program. I think it's very valuable, and it's been a while since I don't use a StreamYard, but I'm pretty happy that we are going to have this way to communicate with the attendees. Um, for those that know me well, you know that I love to start my conversations and my presentations with you guys, most of all with the students, with a little bit of ice breaking or sharing information that I love. So today, before we start and before I start talking about, who am I and what am I doing and leadership and all the serious stuff, I want you to use the comments and greet a little bit everybody, but let's share what is that influencer you have been following lately. I am following lately someone called Volata Di Peluca. The guy has a Fiat Siena and he's traveling from Spain to Japan, but he's taking all the Middle Asia, all the stans countries and Iran and all these kind of things. Amazing. The guy is in Instagram. So if you want to follow and learn from different countries, I am obsessed with them, with him. Go for it. But also you share with me what is it that you are, following and learning from. I love to see the world through others people's eyes, which is, by the way, a nice way to lead. Okay, so let's start. I will do my best to not drop the ball. And please let me know if you see my screen. I think I will be able to see it too. Yes. Wonderful. So today I was invited to make a presentation about leadership and team management. I did a very similar presentation last year. And the main idea is to share with you how do I lead, value people, I have fun, and I really do not die while doing this. I survive. And not only I survive, I thrive very well by doing this. So I enjoy it very much. So today I will be sharing with you some of my experience in this regard. Um, okay, let me see if I'm doing it well. Perfect. So typically you will hear me telling you that I like to talk about leadership and leadership styles as a recipe. It is not really something firm or something specific or a recipe for everybody. A cookie cut recipe is not like that. It depends on your personality. It depends on what flows, on what works for you as well, because you need to be comfortable with these kind of things. Um, so, what I will share with you is some of the ingredients that I use. But what I will invite you is to learn from these ingredients, compare with your personality, with your way to do things, and build up your own recipe. So today we're going to talk about vision and goals, expertise, engagement, team building, empowerment, conflict resolution, communication, ethics, and integrity, professional development, and a final couple ones. Most of all, a cherry in the pie that I love. The other thing that I want to maybe share with you is um, at the end of the day, I will give you tips based on my experience, and you will add more based on your experience. So don't disregard what you have learned, your gut. At the end, that is what actually is telling you if it fits well for you or not. Okay, a little bit about myself, and most of all, because considering that I have my part in my job and then the volunteering portion, um, it's important that you know that you can do this, and again, you can survive if you find a good balance. So now today I will introduce myself properly. Yesterday I just gave you a little hint. First of all, family first. So I will introduce myself as a person. I am a wife. I have a family here with a dog. I have my parents that I really love to spend time with them. They live in Colombia. I am the favorite sister of Camilo and Hadra, my brother and sister, and I can, very confidently tell you that I am their favorite. I am a crazy aunt. I'm the aunt that goes around the world, travels and brings cool things for the nieces and nephews. And then I am a friend. I do try to keep my close friendships alive and nurture, and I think they are a plant and they give me back joy. So it's important that I do value that. Now, that is my first quadrant, my priority. Now, in the second one, typically it's always job, right? But I do have IEEE very close to it because of the positions that I am holding already. So I cannot detach. But I work in Lufthansa Technique. Um, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I decided to make a change in my career. I was in a very nice company. I still love them to pieces. But I was about to turn 40 and I thought, what is it that I wanted to do when I was a kid? And it was to be an astronaut. And I said, why not going for a career that is aligned with that? So I decided to go and play with planes. Um, Lufthansa Technique has a maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility in Puerto Rico, and I am working with them. And right now I am a sales and key account manager, but since Monday, I will be jumping on operations and I will be heading the operations of aircraft parts repair and overhaul services. So quite exciting. And as you can see, I don't mind taking risks. I will be leading a big team in the facility. So I will see how my recipe applies to that too in operations. Um, I also have hobbies. I am a runner wannabe. This Sunday I will be running a 10K. I like to knit, well, actually crochet. So I do amigurumis, the little Harry Potter there. I did it. I love to travel. I travel too much for work or IEEE. So those ones I do it with joy, but it's not the same that when you are traveling because of leisure. I read a lot and love it. And I have other hobbies that I have had to put on the side whether I love them and everything. It's just that you have to balance and give priorities, right? So I'm a swimmer that is not swimming. I volleyball since since I can remember. My mom gave me a ball instead of a toy, or a doll. Uh, and I used to play some instruments, but that is on hold. Maybe in the future. But again, you need to balance to be able to lead and work properly in a team, and also to develop your career and your priorities. Okay, a quick introduction about who am I, and I like this slide because this shows you that I started where you are. I started as a volunteer in my student branch. My first position was a student branch we chair, and then I went to chair the student branch per se. Then I got my degree, and a great leader in my section told me, "Hey, come work with me." But then he knew that I was a young professional, that I will have to balance my new job and my new responsibilities, or my time management. And then he gave me micro volunteering. The first thing that I did in the Colombia section was to create the marketing strategy of the Colombia section. It was pretty cool. But then with the time, as the leaders that were supporting me saw that I could accommodate more, I kept growing to be the vice chair of the Colombia section. I also created the WIE Colombia affinity group. Of course, this happened after wonderful people did a lot of efforts before of me. Pretty much in this case, I just submitted the papers, but I learned how to follow the process and how to lead teams there. Then I was the YP in Colombia section. Back in the days, it was the graduate of the last decade, so we were gold. And we managed to be the best YP in the region, thanks to this gold team that I had. And then I moved to Puerto Rico. I got married, and I moved to Puerto Rico. And what I did was I started all over again. I didn't come to Puerto Rico to say, hey, I come from being a vice chair. I should be in. No, volunteering is about what impact you can do, correct? So I sat down in the table and saw maybe they need help with the students. And I started again my career in Puerto Rico as SAC, and I progressed. I formed the WI in Puerto Rico, this time not submitting only papers. I actually did all the groundwork. And then I managed to be elected as chair in Puerto Rico. Then I was appointed secretary of the Region 9, an industry engagement committee member. And as you heard in the introduction, I also was appointed Women in Engineering Global Committee Chair, which was fantastic. And then I was elected Region 9 Director, which is my current position. But then you can see that I keep going. And now, as a director, I am the YP Committee MGA representative. So I am currently part of the Global YP Committee. And I am also touching some bases in Technical Activities Board. I am now part of the Nominations and Appointments Committee. And the reason why I'm there is because I am obsessed to see other people from my region thriving and going up in the different boards in IEEE. I want to see more faces from the region in leadership positions in the different boards of IEEE. And if something, this is another tip that I'm giving you. Leading is about see other people thriving and be okay with that. And I love what volunteering give us there, because since as a volunteer you have pretty much 1 year or two in your position, if you actually manage to detach from the position and let others grow, it is going to serve you very well in your entire career, in your life, because you learn how to close cycles, and that is pretty healthy, to be honest. So enough about me. Let's talk about what you came to learn today about leadership, about team management, and let's go for the ingredients now. And this is the part where I need to stop sharing, because I need to now move to Chrome. I'm sorry about this, but we're managing StreamYard a little bit. So, okay. Let me share. And I will start with this video that I love. It represents a lot what I believe that you need to do once you get a hold of a team.
It's easy to put people in boxes. There's us, and there's them. The high earners, and those just getting by. Those we trust, and those we try to avoid. There's the new Danes, and those who've always been here. The people from the countryside, and those who've never seen a cow. The religious, and the self-confident, and those we don't share anything with.
Velkommen. Jeg kommer til at stille jer nogle spørgsmål i dag. Nogle af dem kan godt være lidt personlige, men jeg håber, I vil svare ærligt på dem. Hvem herinde i rummet var klassens klovn? Hvem er bonusforældre?
And then suddenly, there's us. We who believe in life after death. We who've seen UFOs. All of us who love to dance. We who've been bullied. And we who've bullied others. And then there's us, the lucky ones who've had sex this past week. We who are broken-hearted. We who are madly in love. We who feel lonely. We who are bisexual. And we who acknowledge the courage of others. We who have found the meaning of life. And we who have saved lives. And then there's all of us who just love Denmark. So maybe there's more that brings us together than we think. TV2 Denmark. All that we share.
Okay, let me go back to share my screen. So I like to start with this video, and many of you have seen this video plenty of times. And it is because I believe that we have much more in common than whatever separates us, whatever difference we believe we have. I learned that in WI strongly. The first time that I made a presentation for an Irani affinity group. And you believe that you are very different, but absolutely not. It's amazing how much you find in common, and try to make sure that you find those things in common with your team and within your team. That is going to make much easier. Oh, hold on, sorry. That is going to make much easier for you to lead them, pretty much. So I'm having a little bit of a technical issue here, but you will give me just a second. It's not that bad. Exactly. Okay. I think I managed to solve it. Okay. So let's carry on. So the first thing that I will tell you is finding the commonalities with your team that is going to give you an edge. And it's not a cliche. I'm telling you, it is going to give you an edge. The second thing I think I shared yesterday. Yesterday, you were asking, okay, what is it that you have to do to lead properly a team or a project? And I told you, having a common vision and a common goal, that is super important. And it's not only important, I think is the key component. Why? Because again, you can be all the other ingredients, you can be super respectful, great communicator, everything you want, but if you're pulling to different directions, you're not going to get to an understanding with your team, which is what you want to avoid. Okay. Okay, so since we already talked about that one yesterday, I'm going to carry on with the part of the team. Why team building is so important? Sometimes we hear team building and it's already sounding like, yeah, team building again, yada yada yada. It's really fundamental, because when you build a team, when you manage to coalesce the team, you will create something called cross collaboration. And it's beyond the networking. The networking is very important, but you can have your network and not use it. And that's not good. You need to use the network in the way that is good for the project, for the objective, for yourself and for others. And that's the cross collaboration. So again, team building is not a trend. It's an actual fact that you need to do. Take your time. It takes time, but you want to make sure that you share it with others, that they need to cross collaborate. How to find a way to cross collaborate? By knowing each other. Each of them need to have the safe space to understand how the other communicates or what the other needs. How can I contribute to their needs? That is going to collectively contribute to the final goal of the team. It is important that the team stay updated, and it is your job to also make sure that it happens. And it is both in the needs of others, but also the industry trends or the technical trends, which, by the way, IEEE is a fantastic source of information that is going to help you, contribute to others, knowledge that you have receiving from others, and make sure that you are advancing in the goals that you want to achieve. And last but not least, you are a facilitator. I always say that we are chairs because we put the chairs on the table. We want to facilitate the space for people to collaborate, to advance together. And sometimes you have to push. Do you know how many times I've been told that I am pushy? I don't care. Sometimes I am, because sometimes you facilitate, but sometimes the team will need a little bit of a pressure. It doesn't mean that you have to, be completely dictator or anything. Remember that the team advance better when they feel that they are advancing together and not pushed by other. I told you yesterday, example is the key, but sometimes you will need to push, and that is okay. Just find the right way to do it with your team. Communication, and once again, communication. It's key. I've worked on communication so much in my life. Why? Team members are not mind readers. You can believe that you are clear in the concept of what you want to achieve, and not necessarily everybody is understanding the concept. And you need to make sure that your team is getting what is in your mind, and not only that you are getting what is in their mind, so you can collaborate and create that cross collaboration we were talking about. Take time to onboarding. Do you know how many days I took last year to onboard my committees in the region? It was months, and there were one-on-ones, and many one-on-ones, at least 3. And I'm telling you, I have more than 20 committees. But what is happening is everybody understands what the region is lacking, what the region is very good at, and what the plan is, the goals are. Right now, the cross collaboration across the committees is wonderful. People are understanding when I make jokes, when I try to push, when I am telling them, no, we better stop. They don't take it personal. And it is because we had that time to work together, for me to give them the information, but then for them to also understand my personality and my way to lead, which is really important as well. Show your listening. I love this one. Why I love this one? Because I am a talker. Then, since I am a talker, people think that I don't listen. And I do. So, what I found is I need to make sure they see that I am listening. So there are ways to work on this, and this is one of the things that I actually work and read and practice all over again. From paraphrasing to actually incorporating ideas in your plan, there are many ways to show that you are listening. Um, if you need to go for a simple one, I find that paraphrasing is a wonderful one. So what you can say is, okay, what I'm hearing you saying is this and this and this. And if you are correct, they are going to feel wonderful. And if you are incorrect, you have an opportunity to actually align with what they are trying to say. So open that door and paraphrase oftenly. Again, maybe I just said open the door, but now open the door for you to be reachable, but be sure it is open. You know how many times I've had managers and I've had leaders that says, yes, you can come to me anytime. But then when you go to ask, or first they are too busy, or and never get the time, or second, they are not receptive. The door needs to be open. If you invite people to ask, make sure that you are ready to be asked. If you are invite people to give you feedback, make sure that you are open to get the feedback. Be transparent. I think this one is one of the best. When you are transparent, it's better to communicate with your team. Let's say you don't know what is coming with the restructuring of a company, or you don't know what is coming with the new leadership in the section for next year. That's okay. Be transparent. Be sure that you understand that you don't have to know it all. Of course, you don't want to be incompetent either. Make sure that make you do your job, you inform yourself. But whenever you don't know or you don't have a clear view, be transparent with your team. Whenever you have a lack of resources or need a little more time from themselves or yourself, be transparent with the team. They appreciate that very much and strengthen the trust. And last but not least, inform. It's the report is not only from them to yourself, it's from yourself to them as well. Make sure that you inform the progress, the challenges that you're having, and any updates, and make sure that you listen to adapt too. I love this one. If you have Apple TV, look for this series. If not, look for some of the sketches that you will find in YouTube. It's called Ted Lasso. I am obsessed with Ted Lasso. I am really obsessed with Ted Lasso. The guy is the kind of leader I aspire to be. You can be kind and you can actually be productive. And he has a sentence that I love that is be curious and not judgmental. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So once again, first, it's not about the age. Remember that I told you yesterday, I'm the youngest in the board. I was elected as a region director when I was young professional. You are young. You're leading teams. You're leading student branches. It is because you know something. You have an expertise to bring to the table. Make sure that you prepare. Again, what I told you before. It's not making excuses. You need to be prepared. You need to do your job. But don't let anybody doubt you because you're young, and don't doubt yourselves because you're young. Be curious, ask questions, and actually listen to the answers. When somebody has a problem, try to understand why. When somebody treats you unkindly, try to see behind it. What is it that is affecting? When you judge less and you ask more and you try to understand more and be curious, there are a better way to establish that connection with your team. Informed decisions. You need to make a difficult decision or any decision. Try to make sure that you have the information that you need. A lot of time, the team members do not like you to ask a lot. But if you understand it is the way to go, just let them know, hey, I want to make an informed decision. I'm asking this and that because I need to get the grasp of the risk. I need to get the grasp of what is on the table, where is this taking us to. Um, I am as a good engineer, I use a lot numbers, a lot, Excel, my good friend, now Power BI. But really, informed decisions can take you long, and not only a long way, but not only that, whenever you make the decision with facts, an informed decision is easier to transmit that to your team. Even if they disagree with the decision, they will understand where you are coming from. And that's a much better way to disagree. They may not be in entire agreement, but they will understand a little more. Guide and not judge. And this is not easy. Not easy at all, because we have our opinions and we are entitled to our opinions. But at the end of the day, sometimes the fact that you are in a team and you have a team is because they also have something to offer. Sometimes you are going to disagree. You can guide people as much as possible, but they will make their decisions too. And sometimes they will drop the ball, sometimes they will nail it. Make sure that you don't judge. Not if they drop the ball, most of all in volunteering, guys. IEEE is the way, is the place where you can actually drop the ball and you learn from it. It's not the same in the job. In the job, you can also drop the ball, but you are on the spotlight. You can be dismissed or you are afraid of that. In IEEE is where you learn, when you grow. So make sure that you are not judgmental with when this happens. And the last one I love is trust. I told you yesterday, for me, trust and respect is the highest note always. People lose it, they don't have to win it for me. So trust is a given, but trust has to be nurtured. And you are the first one that needs to be honest, transparent to nurture that trust, but also you need to make sure that it is a two-way street. Empowerment. How overused is this word? But I do believe in empowerment. So why? Because if you don't empower others, you are going to be find yourself pretty overwhelmed. So when you empower others, you won't be afraid to delegate. Trust them. Again, if they are going to make decisions, there is a reason why they are in your team, right? So delegate and make sure that you are there to support, are there to answer questions, but most of all, you don't have to do it all. Now, I will tell you something. This is also a thing that I work a lot on. I delegate. I ask you once, I ask you twice. If I have to ask the third time, I'll do it. Because my objective, I'm a very goal-oriented person. The results need to be in place. But if I have to do it, then I need to evaluate why I have to do it. And that is also fair too, because you need to be fair with yourselves. Understand people's skills. And this is where communication is very key, because to understand people's skills, you need to build a relation to learn about them, right? And why understand people's skills? Because when you understand people's skills, you can understand what are the best tasks they are going to enjoy. They will excel. Sometimes you give, I don't know, a specific task to people that they don't find themselves enjoying. Or sometimes you want to enrich your team. And when you want to enrich your team, you want to look for people that are going to expand your box, that are going to bring those skills that you don't have yet in your team. And you can only do that and manage the team properly if you understand what are the skills that are in place already. Let them make decisions and have their back. There have been moments that I have to say, yes, I take the bullet. Even if I didn't make the mistake, it's my team. And if I empower them, I need to be ready to face consequences, right? But letting people make decisions increase their confidence, and they will also feel the joy of trust, and they will also educate themselves, and they will try to give you their best. So I'm telling you, this has a return of investment per se. So let them make decisions and have their back. And of course, let them take ownership of their job, of their work. And why? Because most of all in volunteering, we tend to relate volunteering with charity. We're volunteering because it makes us happy. It gives us joy. It fulfills purposes. But whenever you commit to something, you commit. Is a word, is your work ethic, volunteering ethic there. So at the end of the day, yes, I delegate, I empower you, I understand your skills, I want you to see you growing. But I also will hold you accountable with your commitments. Why? Because it's very easy to demotivate other volunteers if you don't do that. Other workers, other peers, if you don't do that. You need to keep people accountable and yourself accountable to your promises, so the goals are achieved and the team advance together. Ethics and integrity. I don't know if you knew, but I am a fan of the ethics code of IEEE. If you read it, I just love it, and I put the link in the bottom. I can share later the presentation with you, and maybe we can put the link later in the chat. I love it because it encompasses the impact that we can have in technology, in science, in math, in engineering, the impact that us as professionals in our field have in the world. So if you read it, and I will read these 3 bullets because I just love it. It says, to uphold the highest standards of integrity, responsible behavior, and ethical conduct in professional activities, to treat all persons fairly and with respect, to not engage in harassment or discrimination, and to avoid injuring others. And third, to strive to ensure this code is upheld by colleagues and by coworkers. So here is many things. First, we need to be ethic in our job and in our professional activities. Second, we need to be ethics as persons. And third, we need to hold others accountable as well. If you go to the full ethics code of IEEE, each of those have bullets that are very related to our career. Please take the time. It's not long. It's beautiful. And if you uphold these with you, the trust of your team in yourself is going to grow tremendously. But I love one thing that I always say, and is, don't do anything that if the next day is going to be in the first page of the newsletter is going to shame you. Make sure the emails you send, the conversations you have are worthy to be published, and that's okay. And for that, integrity is key. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. I don't have to over-explain this. I think everybody understands the concept, and it's important that we apply it. Engagement and motivation. You know that I am kind of a cheerleader. I do think that engagement is important and motivation is important. So make sure that people understand that their contributions matter. People like to be seen. We all like to be seen. Not necessarily in the public spotlight, but we like to be valued. And that is important, that you show that their contribution matters. Remember, high morality matters. If you see somebody that is really down, they can drag others down too. So make sure that you address that. It's easy to make a hole in the floor and put the head and ignore this when somebody is, creating some toxicity, high morality is important in a team. So make sure that you identify that. But most of all, whenever you identify that, the person or the people, be curious, not judgmental. Respect matter, and I already mentioned this. In my case, everybody starts with 100% note, and it matters because people really know whenever you are not respecting them. It is with your attitudes, with your words, with your decisions. Make sure that they are all consistent. Set measuring bar for everybody matters. I was mentioning this before. Most of all in volunteering. If you have two volunteers and one of them is giving you their all, they're giving you the 100%, and the other one is giving you the charity, the little leftover time that they have for you, and you give these two the same recognition, the same resources, the same tools, the same reward, this one is not going to go up here, but this one is going to go down here. The least resistant path, like electricity. So make sure that you have the same measurement bar for everybody because it matters and your team see that. They see when you have preferences. They see when you don't use the same bar with everybody. Truth matters. And yes, we can communicate messages with a little softness and with a little, I don't like to call it makeup, but a little bit of a sugar coating. But make sure that it is truthful. Make sure that you can repeat the same thing everywhere because it is truthful. And everyone matters. So sometimes people feel that I throw them under the bus when I ask them in meetings directly with names. But the thing is, you want to hear everybody's voice. So you make sure that you use different ways to collect thoughts because not everybody likes to contribute in meetings. Not everybody likes to talk. So you can find ways to make sure that they know that they matter and their opinion matter. Collecting, for example, information through other ways. Maybe a form, maybe an email, just reply to me if you feel comfortable with this. And it is important that they feel heard. Conflict resolution. This is for team management, pure 101 team management. Why? Because I don't think that it is easy, and I don't think anybody volunteers to or sign up for a volunteering position to resolve conflicts. I had this conversation with Jessica last year in the first 2 months. She got, oh my gosh, a couple cases that were very heavy. And she came from being a SAG. And maybe I had the same experience before. We're trying to have fun. But sometimes we have to face these kind of things, and this is the moment where we grow. So I have a little bit of a chart here that is going to help you. But one thing that I can tell you is face it. They exist. So it's better to address it than to ignore it. And it's better to be prompt than to procrastinate the addressing of the issue. It is important to be direct, and not everybody likes people when they are direct. But when you are direct, people understand that you notice what is happening, and they cut the. I have a good word for that, but I shouldn't use it. So they cut the histories and they cut the different versions, and alignment starts to appear. Encourage open dialogue. And most of all, this happens when you are curious and not judgmental, because people feel that they can actually be open with you. And find, not force, a mutual acceptable option. And all of these will come from the chart in the left, of course. Chart. What else? It is level of cooperation with level of competitiveness. Why? Because in a conflict, there are two people that you want to see how much they want to find a solution, collaborate, but also they want to win. There is an argument, somebody wants to be right. So you need to assess how far they are from each other. You need to see, okay, can we avoid it? Is there a lot of competition? Because sometimes the competition is not only crashing, sometimes they are competing by not talking. right? And then how to get to the compromise, how to find a way that everybody feels that they meet in the middle. That is the best way to do it. And if everybody contributes to the solution, it's even much better. But conflict will happen, and that needs to be addressed. Professional development, I talked about this a lot before. You want to grow as a professional, and guess what? Your team as well. That's why I'm telling you, I dislike the volunteers that stay in the position for, I don't know, 10 years. Or that is my position 2 years and then my friend and then mine and then my other friend. It is important that you grow so others can grow as well. And also, it is important that you see others flying above you and you feel part of their process. You feel, uh, you know, proud that you contribute to them flying high. So make sure jealousy is down and to the levels possible, because jealousy is always going to be there. Even if it is green jealousy or just mild jealousy, it is always going to be there. And it's okay. Invite them to high level meetings, for example. So if you see somebody with a profile, let's say, I think I have one of the I have a committee that is fantastic. Right now, I am starting already to ask my committee, where do you want to see? Where do you see yourself next year? What can I do to contribute? And one of them already told me, yes, I want to be in this position, in this place. I already start inviting them to specific meetings in working groups I am part of, or committees I am part of, where I know they are going to learn. So make sure that you give them that opportunity for sure. Training opportunities. Show them this kind of training that the SAC is putting together, or maybe the SBRM, or maybe the Rising Stars, or maybe the CLE, the Center of Leadership Excellence, that I'm sure you're going to learn about it, or whatever you find in the ILN. Sharing is caring. So make sure that you give them that opportunity and you take that opportunity to train yourself. Skill development. This is a given. We need to help people to develop the skills they are pursuing, and the skills that you understand that it's also going to contribute to the team as a whole. Give the spotlight. And that is important because not everybody's comfortable with it. Not every spotlight is in the stage, but you want to give them the, yes, you did that. Recognize what they did. Make sure that they feel value what they are doing. By you sharing your spotlight, you already have yours. You can share a little bit with others. And last but not least, I love it. Open their network. If you feel that they are looking or they are growing in this direction and there is a mentor that you can connect them to, please do. You cannot mentor everybody. You don't have to be the example for everybody. If you open their network, they are going to grow more. They are going to contribute better to your team, and your team is going to be better. Your results are going to be better, and you are going to advance more. All of these has a return of investment. And now the cherries on the pie. I love this next one, and it is empathy. And lately, you will see some gurus of technology saying that empathy is weakness and blah 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 blah. No, I hate when people mix kindness with weakness. I can be the kindest person, but I'm not weak. I will make the decisions when I have to. I will tell you the things where I have to. And empathy is a lovely way to make sure that you know how to be curious, how to ask questions, how to understand what the other is going to, for when to make decisions, but also to be kind with others and with yourself. So first, understanding others. I already told you in the first one, communication is key. Compassion and support. And compassion is not pittiness. Actually, we need to be compassionate with ourselves to begin with. Again, put our mask on first. But compassion is to understand what other needs and support that. Effective communication. Again, It's not one-way street. That's why I ask you so many times, hey, please contribute to me with sharing this or reply this question. I use a lot Miro. I use a lot the forms in Google, sometimes too much. But for me, effective communication is a two-way street. And also, I need to understand what is happening in the other side to be able to provide what is in need. Trust. I already talked about this, and empathy is the one of the best way to build trust. I cannot tell you. It's for me. If you are empathetic with me, you have my heart, you have my trust, you have, and you have also my hands to work for you. Emotional intelligence. Make as many quizzes as you want. Everybody wants to and needs to improve in the emotional intelligence. Everybody, no matter which is the gender. Because you know what? Not reacting to things is also a lack of emotional intelligence. You need to understand what is it that you're feeling, what is it that your body is telling you when you are uncomfortable, when you are too comfortable, and try to manage that. Decision making is going to be much better and much accurate if you think about others when you make the decision. You will not have everybody pleased, but you will find ways to, have a good balance. And the last one I love, I learned this with IEEE, and it is at the end of the day, if you're in a multicultural team, you need empathy to make sure that you understand that cultures are different. And if you are going to grow at a global level in IEEE, if you are going to work for a multinational company, you need to make this one of your bottom lines. Understand and have empathy for other people's cultures because they are also doing the same with yours. You also have things that they don't understand. And this is key for the communication and for the coalescence of the team. I will skip this one just to tell you the second cherry on the pie. Have fun. If you're not having fun, you need to reevaluate. There is a saying that Charlotte from Sex and the City, if you want, you can Google then later who is Charlotte and what is Sex and the City. I'm not going to teach you pop culture today. But Charlotte says that we don't have to be happy every single time, every single minute of every day, but we have to be happy every day. So make sure at least at some point you are having fun with what you are doing. If you feel that you are drained, if you feel that you are not in the right place, make decisions as well for yourself. Because you're not only affecting yourself, you're affecting others. You're not leading properly. You're not managing a team properly if you are not enjoying what you are doing. So I will leave you with a last little gift. And is I told you these are my ingredients. This is what I use and how I shape my leadership strategies and style. Now, it's important that you do the same for yourself. Last year, I had a different QR code that was leading you to buy a plan. Sorry. This year, I made sure that you had one test. It's long. It's around 20 minutes. So start by investing on this time for yourself. You can scan this QR code and you can go ahead and make the test after this presentation and try to understand who are you as a leader. What type of communication you have? What is it that brings you joy? What is it that really bothers you? Because this is the way that you can say, okay, maybe I do need to be more empathetic, or, I'm very well there, but maybe I need to communicate better. So make sure that you do this or any other that you find in Google, that's okay. But try to understand who you are before you create your own recipe. And with this, I will be very happy to open to any questions if you have. I don't know how we are going to manage them. I know that I can see the comments here, but I will be very happy to hear any questions that you may have. And yes, conflict resolution is very complicated. And I know I have to wait because there is a lag between StreamYard and YouTube. So Thank you for pasting the code of ethics of IEEE. I love it. I just love it. Okay.
Yeah, we are waiting
Hi.
for the hello again. We are waiting for question of the
I know.
public, and I will show you in the stream the moment they are
Yes.
show here in the chat.
Awesome.
So they're
Meanwhile,
open.
I can see here who you are following. I love it. There is, of course, the SAC channel. I wouldn't expect anything less from you guys. Soy Unlimited. Nice. I am following a lot of curly method influence to better take care of my hair. Hey, yeah, Melissa, rocket. There is a guy called Jeff. He travels around the world. Thank you. Luisito Comunica is fantastic. And a lot of you have been following Julio el Profe, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of us really owe Julio el Profe a lot. Love it. Okay. You see, people are shy today. Yesterday, they were asking a whole lot. Or they are doing the quiz. Hmm. That is a great question. What about helping people to improve? And it is hard to talk. It is so hard to talk. Um, I'm telling you, right now, I am in my 40s. When I was in my 20s, and somebody would tell me, hey, you need to improve on this or that, I would be super offended. And I work on that a lot. The other thing that I used to hate was to ask for help. And I work on those two a lot. So for me, it's easy to empathize with people that hate to be told that they need to improve. Um, but helping people to improve, if I can tell you what worked or works with me, and I think it can extrapolate to others, is that it is felt honest. It is felt that you actually want me to improve, that you're not trying to patronize me, or that you are not trying to just advance your own agenda. I think honesty in this case is fantastic. And the other thing is, there is a book called The Five Languages of Love. It can be used for personal life, for anything, but actually, it shows you that people receive love in different ways, in acts of services, in words, in gifts, etc. And the thing is, when you're trying to help other people to improve, it's because you care. So find a way that they receive that kind of feedback in a way that they feel valued, and not that they feel judged. I think in this case, communication is key. And again, the one-on-ones, the onboarding, the building the relation, that is key for the future. Thanks for the question. Ooh. So how can we have committed volunteers if the leader is not committed? Yep, you are absolutely correct. I agree with you. It is leading with example. We said it in the beginning. If you're not committed, people will not be committed. But here we're learning how to lead and manage a team, right? So let me tell you, I love to tell stories. I was part of a team at some point that was pretty dysfunctional. We didn't have the leader leading. And there is one thing that is called peer leading. You can actually lead your peers and lead by example as a part of a team. So if the lead is not committed, you can be the one, you can be the peer that can give that to the team. And I would encourage you to do that. I think it helps a lot, and it inspires people. In my case, I was that person actually, and it not only helped others, it also gave me a sense of purpose, because yes, it's super frustrating when that happened. So make sure, remember, leading is managing up, managing down, and managing peers. You can lead in many directions. So make sure that you find a way that you can contribute to not make the situation worse. Okay, I see another question there. Yes. When collaborating with other leaders, how can we appropriately distribute our responsibilities? Should there be a leader assigned? Oh my God, that is so usual in IEEE. Because in IEEE, you will find yourself surrounded by leaders, natural leaders, a lot in volunteering. So everybody knows what to do. And then as engineers, we have an ego that is of the size of a room, because we, of course, know that we can solve things. That's why we study this. We like to solve things. And then comes the clashes, right? Um, so I have two options here. The first one is, I don't know if there has to be a leader assigned. Naturally speaking, organizations have a structure, and maybe we should respect the structure. Let's say we have all the leaders of the chapters, but the chapters, they belong to one structure, that is the student branch. So when you have a structure, you can lean on the structure. Or the second one, if you don't have a structure and you have a bunch of leaders that wants everybody to do different things, my suggestion is, okay, treat it as a project, which is the initiative determined. These are the 6 initiatives or 5 initiatives or 4 initiatives that we are going to do. Treat it as a project where everybody is a subject of others, and then each project is going to have a team lead. And in that way, everybody can use their very valuable skills, but also everybody respects when it is the turn of other to lead. Maybe this helps. Thank you. Okay. What recommendations would you have for someone who is looking for opportunities to improve their leadership skills in environments such as the region's student branch, perhaps is uh, as a president or a member? Well, if you want to grow, my my recommendation is, there are several. First, talk. You need to tell people, hey, I like this, I like that. Find a mentor, find a way, understand the structure, and ask for that opportunity. But also, I am one of those that will always tell you, results. Results speak for themselves. If you have a lot of promises but you don't walk the talk, I am one of those that look into that. I say that my in my job, my love language is act of services, and I see the act of services in you doing what you committed to do, in me doing what I committed with you to do. So show results, and afterwards you will look in IEEE. There are many ways to lead. You can lead a project, you can lead an event. Find those opportunities, those lean opportunities to lead, that are going to give you visibility to apply to a future position in IEEE. That has been working wonders with me. So I hope it works for you. Okay. How do we manage someone who has more specific knowledge on some topic than you do on the main on the main topic of the project? Santiago, that is going to be my life from Monday on. My God. First thing is, and my strategy from Monday on is, guys, you know a lot more than me in certain areas. But there is a reason why I am a leader, right? I know a lot more than others in certain other areas. Why? Because that's why we are a team. because in a team we complement each other. So what I would suggest, respect a lot their knowledge. Acknowledge that they know more than you. No, if you want to learn about that, learn from them. Let them mentor you as well. I have YPs that mentor me right now. And try to make sure that they understand that you respect their knowledge, but also never forget that you are the leader, and make sure that they understand that while you are respecting their knowledge, there is a lead in the team. There is a reason why you're leading the team, and show your skills in all the other areas that are going to help them, because they also have areas where they are not the best, and they will appreciate your support and your guidance on that. I hope it is going to help me as well. Okay, there are another two. Just keep one, Andres, just in case later. What strategies would you recommend to identify and develop leadership potential in new or members? What are strategies for new members? Onboarding. Onboarding is super key. And for me, that is the first strategy of all. The second one, make sure that they understand the vision, the mission, the goals that you have. But also make sure, if you have a new member, although they are less experienced in certain areas, they are more experienced in other areas. There is a reason why they are your members. So try to identify also where they excel at, because otherwise they will feel always behind the team. They will be always like 2 steps behind the others, and that is not nice. So make sure that you identify what they can bring to the table, that they is their expertise, that is going to expand your box, and it is going to give you better results at the end of the day, and of the project. I say with those two, you have a lot on your plate already to deal with. And again, I cannot stress enough, onboarding and showing the vision and mission and goals is key for any new member. Awesome question. Andres, there is another one, 2 questions behind. Juan Cortes, what is the key to have highly active teams? Exactly. Without
Yes. Okay.
having constantly to motivate them. Ah, yes, you can get tired of being the cheerleader. Don't worry, you don't have to go, but that's okay. You get tired to be a team leader. Um, I don't think there is a key to have highly active teams. I think it is a sum of things. And I think the whole presentation was leading you to that, to have your team engaged. If you have your team engaged, they will be active. Um, the other thing is, I'm sorry, but I am the kind of person that has to-do list, that has a physical agenda yet. I am accountable and I hold the team accountable. Make sure the score is clear for everybody. When there is a football match, there is a score. And it is because the team needs to understand where they are. What is the progress? If nobody knows what is happening, it's very difficult for them to remain active. If you go quiet, it's very difficult to remain active. So engagement and showing the progress, I think, is very good. But in general, the full presentation is going to help you to have highly active teams. And now I see that's the last one, Andres.
Yeah, correct. So now, thank you all for all your attendance. Um, we hope that we can have you tomorrow with our next session, and that is gonna design with the main topics of the SLT. So thank you so much. Thank you also you, Jenifer, for your time and also collaborating with us twice. uh, that's was a really amazing presentation. So thank you.
If you are willing to give me your time and your collaboration with all the sessions, the minimum that I can do as a leader is to give you my time and my collaboration with whatever you need. So thank you for making that happen.
Amazing. So thank you, everyone. I think that was now the end of the session for today. Thank you so much, and don't forget to the registration form. So, bye.
Bye.